Brooklyn, bringing you the ones, the twos, the brand news, the funk to the blues, aimed at your hips and your shoes. We're here on 105.5 The Ride, and this week we have the first peek of a brand new jam from the Brooklyn-based two-man band. Tropic's new hit, guaranteed to make your knees quit. It's called Secret, but we're playing it loud all over town so everybody can get down. Riders, you know the drill. I'm Barry McLemmons, here for the thrill. Your future #1 pick right after the click.
Say a word. I'm aware that this is just for me and you, and I won't regret it. We can keep it hush just like we always do. Cause I can be everything when you're close to me. See it in the depths of your fantasy. Feel it in your touch, you electricity. Deny all the chemistry, always on the run from reality. Drink it all down, reinvent your memory. I can be your little secret. No one has to know. I can be your little secret. No one has to know. Keep on running back for more when I know damn well that I'm just a game to play. And in the late night hours, like a multiple flame, I'm burning ecstasy. Yeah, yeah. Cause I can be everything close to me. See it in the depths of your fantasy. Feel it in your touch, electricity. Always on the run from reality. Drink it all down, reinvent your memory. I can be your little secret. No one has to know. No one has to know. I can be your little secret. No one has to know.
Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to Unwind with Webb. This is the last event of our virtual concert series this year, featuring our talented alumni. I'm Laura Wensley, Alumni Director, and I'm here with our co-hosts, Ben Davis, Webb Class of 2011, and Kathy Frederick, Class of 2002. We also have backstage Lexus Beeman from Class of 2008 and our Alumni Office. So before we invite Jarel on, I wanted to let everyone know that this session is being recorded. We'd like to invite you to use the chat function to say hello. Tell us where you're logging in from, and you can use the Q&A button to submit a question. Jarel will answer them at the conclusion of the concert. Tonight, Jarel will be performing with the duo band Tropic, and Kathy and Ben will ask questions between songs. So Kathy and Ben, take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Ben. Happy holidays.
Welcome and thank you all for joining us. We are super excited and grateful to have Jarel Hill and his music partner Joby perform for us tonight. Before we jump in, I wanted to share a few fun facts about Jarel. While he was at Webb, he was a boarding student. He lived in Alamo, Holt, and McLeod. He served on the honor committee. He was active on the soccer and track teams. He was the KWEB manager and also had his own radio show. And one other fun fact, he runs a food blog, and you can find him on Instagram under the name @Eats by Jarel. Hi, Jarel. Hi, Joby. Thank you both for being here with us today.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having us. We're really excited for this.
Hey, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for coming on, and congrats on the single you guys dropped last month, Drop. And for those that haven't checked it out yet, it's on Spotify or like all streaming services. I'm guessing on YouTube and all that stuff too.
Yep. It's there. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it.
And Jarel, do you want to do a quick intro for Joby for those that don't know him?
Yes. So this is Joby Sebastian, my musical partner for our duo group Tropic. And yeah, we do all the songs together. I'm the main producer, but he helps out a ton with everything down to like the notes and the chords, and he's the singer songwriter and the voice you hear on all the songs. So that's Joby.
Thanks for being here, Joby.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's get into some questions and music. So Jarel, I love that your interest in electronic music sort of sparked at Webb, and you were making mixtapes and burning CDs for friends at that time. Did your overall Webb experience or having a KWEB radio show impact your music in any way?
Yes, actually it did. I kind of started listening to electronic music at Webb. A group of my friends kind of got me into it, and we started listening to like Daft Punk and Justice and Cascade and people like that when they were kind of more indie artists, which is kind of crazy to think of now, but and so that was kind of started my love for electronic music and all that stuff, and ended up going to some festivals as well, just from that. And yeah, having the KWEB show with one of my best friends, Gabe, we were just, it was good for me because I got in the habit of trying to find new music all the time. And I still have that to this day, you know? So that all, I feel like the beginnings of maybe my music obsession, and especially with electronic music, definitely started at Webb. So,
and I think Gabe Romero is actually in the audience. Can we bring Gabe on actually for a quick hello, aka DJ Aztec? Is DJ Aztec in the house?
oh my God.
There's Gabe. Hi, Gabe.
Hey, Gabe.
Hi. I have my wife Max with me too. She's here.
Hi.
Hey, Max.
Jarel and Joby. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And I think Gabe you're dialing from South Korea.
I'm in South Korea. That's right. Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining our call.
Gabe, Max, you guys are looking great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to bring you in for a quick hi, but hoping we can catch up with you after the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to hear what Jarel and Joby have in store for us. And it's so amazing to know where we were at KWEB when we only had our parents listening to where they are now. It's awesome.
Parents still listening though, so we're doing good. We kept our day ones, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Do
great.
you remember what your guys' KWEB show was called?
Oh yeah.
Do you think we could? I think we can still do it. You ready?
Yeah.
That
love and feeling. And we do that every time.
What was the highest number
funny.
of listeners that you guys
Like, it was definitely maybe double digits, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was single, but
maybe double digits. We had one day where we just
wanna hope
turned
for
the
double.
radio up all the way, and we opened the door, and and then people passing by coming into the library would sort of hear what we were playing.
Yeah, that was definitely the most listeners, offline listeners mostly. People
so
that were
funny.
annoyed.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Gabe, and we'll see you at the end of the show.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, I think everybody here, especially myself, I've gotten a sneak peek, everybody, and so has Kathy. But I think everybody else is probably ready to hear some music. If you guys don't mind introducing the first song. And
Yeah, absolutely. So this first song is called "Lights Out," and this version is our strip version. So it's more acoustic. We used to do these shows in my apartment, like these acoustic shows before COVID. And so we had kind of altered a few of our songs to kind of fit that vibe. And so, yeah, this will work kind of perfectly for this vibe as well. And everyone's probably sitting down just staring at a screen. So kind of perfect. But yeah, this one's called Lights Out.
Lately I've been thinking, I thought I left it all behind. I did everything to keep you off my mind. The words that came between us, I forced to read between the lines. I was a fool for love, I never saw the signs. No, you never found the words to say to close the distance between us. And you never gotta find a way to take us back to the way we were. And I know I can't keep on running away from you. Every day, every night, close your eyes and dream. I start to lose control when the lights go out. I feel like letting go. I found my way back to you, like I swore I never do. When the night falls, when the lights go out, go out, go out. Now girl, I'm for me. Now you're coming back around. Now you're searching for what's lost but can't be found. I kept your distance from me. I kept my feet up on the ground. Dried my tears and now I found my way back down. No, you never found the words to say to close the distance between us. And you never gotta find a way to take us back to the way we were. And I know I can't keep on running away from you. Every day, every night, close my eyes and dream. I start to lose control, but when the lights go out, I find my way back to you, like I swore I'd never do. When the night falls, but when the lights go out, yeah,
Thank you guys.
Yeah, that was awesome. You guys are like the perfect blend of like the electronic and the R&B. It's like so.
Thank
so much
you.
soul.
Yeah. That's definitely the sweet spot we're trying to occupy.
Amazing.
Thank you guys. I guess I have a question for you, Jarel. What are you cueing and what are you hitting? And can you explain to everybody that's watching what's going on?
Yeah. So, so we make all these songs beforehand, and then to play them out live. So I used to just kind of play the song, like DJ the song out without Joby's vocals, and just kind of stand in the background and like dance around and like shimmy. But it was it just got really boring for me, and so this is why I got. This is a drum pad, and basically you can put any sound that you want into it. And so I'll basically kind of take out parts of the song that have what the machine has. So there's like some like vocal stuff, there's some percussions, and so that's kind of what's happening is I'm just like stripping back the track, and then I just play those versions live. And yeah, it can be anything, you know.
Groovy. I guess that kind of leads me to my next question. What has been your writing and producing process? Has it changed at all during quarantine?
Yeah. So, yeah, the thing that's changed during quarantine is just we've been making a lot more because there's just not much time for anything else. But yeah, my particular process is I kind of get up. I get up every day, listen to about an hour of music, and then I kind of just pick my favorite song, and then I'll try to like at least that's where I'll start. Is I'll start with my favorite song, and I'll kind of reference that and try to make a song kind of like it, and it usually will just end up sounding like something different. And then if that ends up sounding like something that Joby could hop on, I'll send it over to him. And if it doesn't, then I'll just keep it. And that's kind of how, I've been working this year. And so Tropic's kind of that one bucket that I put songs into. And I think I'm just trying to figure out right now, like a couple more buckets to put other stuff that's like just kind of free flowing at the moment into. So kind of random, but I try to make like at least a demo or a song idea every day just to kind of keep the juices flowing. And yeah.
Awesome. So can you tell us about the next song that you'll be playing?
Yeah. Joby, you want to introduce this one?
This next song is a song that is by one of my favorite artists, an artist that I really look up to, MNEK. And it's this song that we only perform at live shows. So we wanted to do it for you guys tonight just because, get back into the live music type thing and we always like having like exclusive songs that are only for people who come to our live shows. And this song is called In Your Clouds, and we hope you guys like it.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. I just want to be all up in your clouds. Through the haze, just find a place that I can figure it out. Even if we kissed, I can feel my mouth. It's not that deep, it's just a crush, not how to figure it out. I just want to be all up in your clouds. Through the haze, just find a place that I can figure it out. I can figure it out. You find the place. You take me to that place. You take me to the place. Yes, you do. You take me to the place. Yeah. You take me to the place. No, take me to that place. You take me to the place. No. desire. I just want to drown. Drunk off your infatuation, you spin me round and round. If you tell me stop, I'll dream the night away. I'm just having fun, there's no reason to be afraid. I just want to be all up in clouds. Through the haze, just find a place that I can figure it out. I can't figure it out. You find the place, you take me to the place. Oh, yes you do. In the sky, I've never seen anything so blue. It's ironic if I'm honest, cause I'm so happy with you. There's an energy way next to me, direct me to a place where I can ease my mind and just be free. Yeah. No. Take me to, you know. Take me to that place. Oh, come on, you take me to that place I love.
Awesome. Such cool vibes with that one. So Jarel, while you were at Davidson College, you studied abroad in Australia, and that trip was a defining moment for you to seriously consider music as a career path. And then just 2 years after college, you were selected to play at EDC in Vegas as your first show, playing original tracks. And for those of you that don't know, EDC is Electric Daisy Carnival, and it's one of the largest electronic dance music festivals in North America. So what was it about that Australia trip that convinced you to pursue music as a career? And what was it like performing at EDC?
Yeah, so I was making, back in high school at Webb, I was making a lot of these electronic mixes, like hour-long mixes for people, for a few friends, not people, a few people. And so I was doing that for a long time, and then got to college in North Carolina, and just electronic music had not hit there at all. And so it was just kind of like there was no fan base for that. And so I kind of did it like quietly in my room every once in a while. And then I got to Australia, where electronic music was really kind of booming at the time. And I'd played one of my mixes for an Australian friend of mine, and he loved it and he wanted me to send it to him. So I did. And then later that night, I went over to hang out with him, and him and like 10 people were just raging with my like mix on at like 1,000 volume. And
that's awesome.
It was just it was just like the first moment where like that had any sort of like people, and everyone was like really liking it, and they were like, you should make more. And so that became the thing I did in Australia. I made a lot of these mixes, and then that's what kind of inspired me to want to DJ. And then when I started to DJ in college and a little bit after, that's what inspired me to want to produce music. And and then, so then I went to a music program in LA, and so EDC was the first festival I'd ever gone to when I was like whatever age you're allowed to go to festivals. That's when I went, and it was just a defining moment for me. I saw a lot of people that I'd been listening to for a long time, and it was just one of my favorite things that happened. And so that was always my goal, was to play at EDC. And so when I went to music school, EDC had this competition, this discovery project. So you can submit an original song, and if you win, you play there. And so I submitted 1 year and I didn't get it. And then the second year, right after I graduated, I did. And so that was just a big, it was only the second song I'd ever really finished too. So it was very shocking and kind of 0 to 100 moment. And yeah, playing EDC was just amazing. It was, they didn't put me on a big stage, obviously, but I was on this discovery stage, and I was thankfully right next to the food court. So I actually did get a lot of like wanderers over from people that had just like finished dinner and whatnot. And so that was kind of my only DJ experience at that moment outside of college. And that kind of led to future DJing and, some other things.
What a cool path though, and way to pursue like your goals and your dreams, and, kind of just like go all out.
Yeah. It was really nice to just have that kind of like a little bit of a confidence booster early on. I feel like in this industry, you kind of need a lot of those on the way. So It was nice to have one of those.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is it, can we hear that first mix anywhere? On like a SoundCloud or something?
It might still be on my SoundCloud, actually.
I gotta find that, man. If anybody here finds it, please.
Yeah, or like a recording of the EDC show, like on the discovery stage.
Oh,
I want to see that.
That is actually for sure still on my SoundCloud.
Awesome. We'll have to dig that up.
Under DJing and mashups. You don't even have to dig. It's like
okay.
I don't know why it's still there. So long ago.
Why. You know why.
Yeah, I'm like that high schooler living in the past with his like jersey on. Like, remember that one time?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, do you think we could hear some more tunes?
Absolutely. Yeah. So this next one is called Alive. It's kind of our hit. It's and yeah, funny thing is this is the one we kind of put a lot of energy a lot of times into promotion, and this is the one that we didn't really promote that much. And it's just been kind of sitting on a couple of Taiwanese Spotify playlists. So,
and it has like over 500,000 streams on Spotify.
Yeah. It's getting some love.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. So this is that though. Yeah, we'll play that.
You're like a taste on my lips, a phantom like a word on the tip of my tongue, a feeling I can never resist, a pleasure principle in the beat of a song. Yeah, I hear the rhythm of your heartbeat, I feel your body, it's rushing over me. Lose my balance on my own feet. I won't let go now. I'm in too deep. Only you can make me feel so alive. Dancing next to me. Only you can make me feel so alive. Like I'm supposed to be so alive. So Yeah, I was lost in the night, searching for the devil in disguise. When that a flicker inside, treading water till you came along. Oh, I hear the rhythm of your heart. It's rushing over me. On my own feet, I won't let go. I'm in too deep. Only you can make me feel so alive. Dancing next, say only you can make me feel. No, I'm so alive. I'm so alive. Yeah, I'm so alive. I'm so alive. I'm so alive. I'm so alive. Yeah, I'm so alive. So alive. I'm so alive.
Yay. So good. It's so awesome to hear like from your living room too.
I'm loving this like intimate, tiny desk web version.
Yeah.
Format for this. This is
I
so
feel like we're the only ones in the room, you and me, Ben.
I know. I feel like I'm just with like you, Joby, and Kathy.
All right, let me give you guys a moment.
If you would, please. Just kidding, man. No, it's not the same without you, dude. I wanted to ask regarding quarantine. How is that? You've talked a little bit about how that's just allowed you to make even more music. How else has it affected you? And also to kind of add on to my freshman prefects question, Johnson Lightfoot, shout out to you, man. Has that changed your release schedule as far as, are you releasing the same amount of songs, or do you have like an album that is that been pushed back, things like that? So yeah, so COVID, quarantine, how has that changed your music? How do you think it's going to change the future of, I don't know, music for everybody?
Yeah. Well, shout out to Johnson. It's my dude. Yeah, I think kind of COVID did, I mean, of course, a lot of artists are really struggling during this time because a lot of people were planning on, you know, income from tours and shows and all that. But besides that, I feel like it's really kind of shrunk the music community in a cool way. Just a lot of all these people that are used to being, you know, on stage and about on airplanes or whatever are all sitting in front of their computer like everybody else. And there's been this gathering, I feel like, on platforms like Twitch and Discord. Like I know for us, like a lot of people that we used to like look up to, I mean, still look up to, are like, you know, we've been connecting with, we've been talking with, like consider ourselves like friends with some of these people now. So that's been really cool, just the access we now have to people. And I think those spaces will kind of hang around even after COVID. I think those are like all becoming kind of fun, familiar spaces that people can go back to, you know, when they're at home. And then just how it's affected us and our release schedule. We're kind of, I feel like we've definitely made more. And I think as far as releasing, we're kind of keeping our schedule kind of this year was about every 3 weeks to 5, or about every like 4 to 6 weeks or so. And I think we're kind of thinking of keeping that same rhythm just because it's kind of a lot to push a song, and so we really kind of want to give each song its own space and time to be out there in the world and kind of hang out. So I think we're still kind of on the same release schedule, but we do have we kind of have a little bit of backlog now. So but hopefully there's a time where, you know, we can play more shows and just kind of be out there and celebrate, and we won't be worried about making music because it's been made.
Did I hear backlog?
Yeah, backlog.
Woo!
This
Can't wait to
a lot.
hear that, man.
I'll send it to you, Ben.
And I think we have 2 more songs.
Yes.
So we can just kind of go right into those.
All right, awesome. So this next one is if you guys were here early in the call, and thank you guys, everyone, for being here. I can't see you, but thank you so much. If you're on earlier, they played a music video of our song Secret. And so this is kind of like our first song that we did a acoustic strip version. This is our strip version of that song. But yeah, it's one of our favorites, and the music video is really fun. We got to do it with our friends.
Check it out on YouTube.
Yeah. So here's that. Good. Falling apart.
I'm sorry. Ready?
You don't have to say a word. I'm aware that this is just for me and you. And I won't regret it. We can keep it hush just like we always do. Cause I can be everything when you're close to me. See it in the depths of your fantasy. Feel it in your touch, electricity. I know you can't deny all the chemistry. Always on the road for reality. Drink it all down, rematch your memory. I can't be your little secret. No one has to know. I can be your little secret. No one has to know. I keep on running back for more when I know damn well that I'm just a game to play. And in the late night hours, to flame my burning ecstasy. Yeah. No. Yeah. I know you can't deny the way you feel inside. No, said I can be said no one has to know. Would you let me be? Would you let me be you? Would you let me be? Let me be you. Yeah. Would you let me be? Would you let me be you? Let me be. Oh, oh, oh. Said I can be your little secret no one has to know. I said no one has to know.
Thank you.
I love your live audience over there. I was like, that's amazing.
Live laughter.
We hired people to
Yeah.
come and watch.
Paying them by the minute.
Yeah. That was a really amazing song again. And I think we're just going to go on to your next one, which is also one of my favorites. And I'm not just saying like every single one is my favorite. You guys are just really talented. So
You're allowed to like all of them.
yeah.
You, Kathy.
But Joby, how do you hit that high note, man, and like hold it for so long?
You just kind of close your eyes and hope it happens. And, you know, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Sacrificial lambs.
I've been trying that, you know, like in the shower, and I'm just like, I can't do it, you know.
I'll let Joby introduce this next one.
Oh. So my favorite artist of all time is Mariah Carey, who is currently #1 on all the charts. And, you know, she's the queen of Christmas and of music, I would say. But this next song is one of my favorite songs. We started off doing it live. Sorry, there's like a ton of reverb. We started doing it off live only. And we eventually started to figure out that we should probably release it as a single. And it's a song that I love so much because every time we play it, the crowd goes nuts and they know every single word. And I hope one day the crowd starts singing our songs the same way they do this song. And if you do know it, please sing along. I know we can't hear you, but it's the thought that counts, I guess. We'll know. We'll feel it. This is a song called Always Be My Baby.
One babe for a moment in time, and it seemed everlasting that you would always be mine. Now you wanna be free, so I'm letting you fly, 'cause you know I'm a heart, babe. Our love will never die, no. I'm tired of you indefinitely. Ooh, don't you know you can't escape from me? Oh, darling, 'cause your love must be my baby. It will linger on, feeling strong. Oh, don't you know you can't escape from me? 'Cause your love must be my baby. Yeah. You gotta cry no. And now I'm begging to stay. If you're determined to leave, babe, I will not stand in your way. But I'm never gonna play. You'll be back again and again, 'cause you know I'm a heart, babe. I'll never die, no. You'll always be a part, no. I'm part of you indefinitely. No. Yeah. 'Cause your love must be my baby. It will linger on. Feel that so strong. But you know you can't escape from me. 'Cause your love must be my baby. When your days and your nights get a little bit colder, no, I know you'll be be right back, baby. Baby, believe me, it's only a matter of time. Time. No, yeah. 'Cause you love me, my baby. And we will live on and on. And no, baby. My baby. Never, no, you and I will always be. No way you're never gonna shake me. No way you're never gonna shake me. No, yeah. Sing you and I will always be. No way you're never gonna shake me. No way you're never gonna shake me.
That was beautiful. And I know everybody in the audience was singing along and dancing. Thank you, Jarel and Joby, for such an amazing performance today and opening up your living room to all of us. I definitely enjoyed our conversation and all of your music. And I know Ben did, Laura did. I'm sure everyone out in the audience did too. This wraps up our live concert portion of the event. Thank you all out there for listening. We hope you'll stay around to hang out with us. Jarel will actually be answering more questions from all of you, especially if you had some in the chat, in the Q&A box. And we'll also be giving away a few raffle prizes.
We hope to see you guys all for the next Unwind with Webb in 2021. Details TBD or to be announced, either way.
Yeah, I think it'll be February, but that's too far away from right now, but we'll send out details closer to the event.
Let's just get through the holidays.
Yeah, let's just wrap up 2020.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
So
And thanks to everyone that's out there in the computer.